The American Black Film Festival hits Miami Beach June 13th through the 17th, 2018. Named one of the coolest film festivals in the world, it brings the who's who of Hollywood to Miami for 5 days of premieres, celebrity conversations, parties, master classes, and more. Come for high-powered networking and non-stop entertainment. Passes on sale now at abff.com. The 2018 American Black Film Festival, Miami Beach, June 13th through the 17th. Don't miss this summer's hottest event.
Once again, it's on. Hi, my name is Lorenzo Thomas for the Live from the MIA and the Sports Brothers Network. And this show, well, we're talking about the 2018 Miami Dolphins. Football, so let's get to it. Now, the NFL Draft was held a few weeks ago, and as recent as this past weekend, teams conducted their rookie camps. Now, this is when the South Florida media and the fans have a chance to see and meet the newest members of the Miami Dolphins. All right? So now, coming up on the show, we will hear from rookies Micah Fitzpatrick, Jerome Baker, and, of course, Mike Gesicki. Plus, my exclusive interview with my good friend and former Miami Dolphins cornerback, Patrick Surtain, as he discusses coaching and the good old days of playing with the fish when they used to make the playoffs year after year after year. Oh, those were the good old days. Anyway, as we get ready for the upcoming season, this is the time of the year where everyone thinks their team is going to the Super Bowl, or at least has a chance to go, and every team has issues and tries to improve as quickly as possible. So, as a Dolphin fan, how do you think the Dolphins will do this year? I've heard the experts grade the draft from a C- to a B. However, the Dolphins let two of their best and most popular players get away, not to mention the trade of Super Bowl ring-toting Jay Ajayi for a fourth-round pick, and let's not revisit that, all right? The Dolphins have reshaped their roster by getting rid of some of the high-priced players and added some youth, athleticism, and veteran leadership. The question is, has the team improved? Well, the experts don't think so. They don't think this version of the Miami Dolphins will be good. Well, that's what free agency and the draft is all about. And I feel the Dolphins' 2018 draft filled a few holes, added some depth, but the Miami Dolphins are missing an abundance of big-time playmakers on offense. You know, like the type of play on offense that you would pick in the first 3 rounds of a fantasy football draft? I don't think we have one. At this time, the Dolphins' defense had severe problems stopping the run. It couldn't cover the tight end or either backs out of the backfield. Plus, with Ryan Tannehill coming back from an ACL injury, I must admit, fans are a little concerned about the ability or even whether or not he will return to the form of the 2016 season when the Dolphins made the playoffs. With this being one of the best quarterback draft classes in years, it is assumed the Dolphins would select a quarterback early on or at least sometime during this draft. However, when the Arizona Cardinals moved up ahead of the Dolphins to pick quarterback Josh Rosen, the game plan had to be adjusted just a little bit. You think?
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Micah Fitzpatrick.
So the Dolphins don't draft a quarterback and select safety Micah Fitzpatrick from Alabama. And he's considered one of the top 5 picks in this year's draft. But what makes this pick so interesting is that the Dolphins already had Rashad Jones and T.J. McDonald at safety. It didn't seem to be a position of need. So I asked a few Dolphins their opinions and suggested to Papa Pump that because so many teams have 3 wide receiver sets and we had issues covering the tight end, perhaps all 3 will be on the field a lot. And you may see T.J. McDonald down in the box as well.
Okay, well, McDonald going to put some more weight on, and so he's going to be like a safety / corner, linebacker. All right, we'll see how it works, but I think we could have got that and around deeper than that, bro. I mean, like, this is our year to get a quarterback, really. We should have really got a quarterback, man. I'm sorry.
Like I said, I'm just shocked right now. You know, I wasn't expecting another safety, but, you know, the front office, I'm going to leave it to the brain trust up there. You know, hopefully they know more than I do.
One thing we do know is that Nick Saban, he co-signed for Fitzpatrick in a big way. And that's something Saban doesn't do very often. But we do know Fitzpatrick is versatile. He can line up on the slot, the corner, at safety. And Fitzpatrick and Rashad should be great together. And at rookie camp, Micah spoke about some things concerning his past and acknowledged the fact that he is a blue-collar type of guy.
But I had to grow up at a young age. Family been through some things, so I was about 13, 14. I mean, I just grew up in a blue-collar home. You know, my father was a mechanic. My mother, she worked at a clothing store in the warehouse. So, you know, I just grew up and it was instilled in me just to work hard, and no matter what you're doing, whether it be stuff on the field or off the field, this has just been in my blood since I was young, so I just carried over to football. I mean, that was the main reason why I had to grow up fast. I had to start working with my father and a couple other things, a couple other jobs. I mean, not every 14-year-old is doing. They're usually playing in the backyard or something like that while I was out working till 12 o'clock at night. And like I said, it was just instilled in me. I couldn't complain. I had to do it because I knew I had to help my parents out, help my family out. So definitely that was like the main reason why I had to go. I'm just going out there working my hardest every day, challenging the people around me, challenging myself. I don't think anybody doesn't want to play, but you know, if I'm not, well, I hope to be the best out there. I'm gonna work to be the best out there so I can contribute to the team. Just gonna start off just learning the defensive backfield, whether it be the nickel spot, the safety spot. Just in there, just making calls, making sure I'm learning the defense, and whatever happens, happens.
Now, it's safe to say Mika will have a lot of opportunities to make a lot of plays on the football field. Now, up next, Ryan Tannehill gets a security break into the second round. But before we get to that segment of the show, this former Dolphin, well, covered a lot of wide receivers man-to-man and shut them down. Plus, he and Sam had a whole lot of fun doing it. And once again, it's on Lorenzo Thomas Sports Brothers Network, coming to you from Hard Rock Stadium. It's the Miami Dolphins NFL Draft Party. And this gentleman right here, state your case. That was actually a show we did together, right, Pat?
Hilarious, man. Hey, while it lasted, it was a pretty good show.
It was pretty good. You kept coming to the show. Back to Sir Jane right here, baby. What's going on, man?
What's up, boy?
2-3.
No doubt.
And man, when we were doing that talk show, sports talk show, you would come in and you would be hoarse, right? A lot of the time you'd be hoarse.
All the time, all the
But
time.
there was a good reason why you were hoarse, because you were coaching, man. And I got to say, yo, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy about all the success you've been doing out there. So is coaching kind of like filling that void that you have from, you know, the times you used to play football here, you know, for Miami and, of course, Kansas City?
Yeah, it is, man. You know, when I retired, you know, I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, I was stable enough to just travel the world and do that. But I figured, you know, I had a son coming up, and I figured, you know, why not get out there and help out with the starting the Optimist levels, then gradually moved up to high school, and, you know, why not share my expertise with these guys? And, man, since I've been there, man, it's been very fulfilling, able to help these young guys, you know, fulfill their dreams of going to college, and also being a big brother, a mentor to them. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, are these kids really receptive to, you know, these millennials, and you're teaching those that are a little bit younger? Are they really open? Do they recognize your talents and your abilities? And, you know, they call you the old man all the time, don't they?
No doubt. Man,
do they recognize? I want to know.
You know, these kids today, man, they're going to try you. They're going to try you. They don't think you're as good as you tell them you were, and they tell me.
And then you got to turn on the film and show them, right?
Exactly. They tell me you didn't even have computers back when you played. You know, they throw in a couple of old jokes like that.
Right.
But sometimes I have to get out there and show them. Yeah. Sometimes
you still got it?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes.
If you had to run a 40 right now, how fast could you run it? How fast?
I probably could give you a 4.7, but I tear every muscle in my body.
Yeah, man. My back is hurting just from all the stand I've been doing out here. But being a Dolphin fan that I am, and I just have to share this, and this is going to go on tape and it'll last forever. I used to love coming to because I lived in Washington, D.C. before I moved down here in 2003. I used to love coming to the Dolphin games. And I remember something, and Sam and I talk about this all the time, where, you know, they would play the music and the box would be on at the stadium. And you and Sam would never, ever, you know what I'm about to say, y'all never go in the huddle, man.
Nah.
I mean, like the offense would know, yo, we going straight man. They going straight man.
Yeah.
And that has to be a testament to the talents of you and Sam being lockdown corners, and then what the defense, the front seven was able to do. Tell me how much fun that was, and how that just illustrates how good the Dolphin defense was at that time.
Yeah, man, we weren't trying to trick everybody. People know we were going to play, and they had to beat us.
Right.
You know, that was our motto. We're gonna play cover 4. We're gonna be pressed, and you got to beat us man to man, mano a mano, and that allowed the other guys to eat. When you know you can lock down both corners, you know. It allowed the defense to do a lot of different things. So, man, it was fun times, man. This stadium used to be rocking.
Yes, and y'all would go to the other, and y'all just be out there dancing.
You and Big Papa been doing it for 15 years, man. In the stands, man, it was great times. And after the game, all the fellas would hang out.
Yeah,
that's what you take from the game, the memories.
For more on my interview with Patrick Surtain, make sure you go to livefromthemia.com. On day 2, the second pick is a position that Ryan Tannehill really wants. Yes, and Adam Gase and his offense really needs. The Dolphins selected tight end Mike Gesicki from Penn State, and Gesicki will be used the same way Julius Thomas was used in Denver when Adam Gase was the offensive coordinator there. Now, the tight end Mike Gesicki addressed criticism about his inability to block.
I mean, I think that's just natural. I mean, somebody says something about you. I mean, you're not going to be happy about it, but I try to just, you know, it is what it is. That's what people want to say, but at the end of the day, I mean, everybody's going to have their opinion and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you that I need to continue to improve in the run game, in the, you know, blocking, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, if you guys know anything about me and who I am, I'm extremely competitive. I, you know, work my tail off each and every day, so I'm going to get to where I need to be.
Mike comes from up north.
I mean, I think my best attribute would be high pointing the ball, you know, going making contested catches, scoring touchdowns in the red zone, that kind of stuff. You know, making big plays. That's definitely, you know, one of the reasons why I was, you know, picked where I was. But and then, you know, just some other things that I need to work on, just the minor details of, you know, route running, you know, the minor details of, you know, your first step, coming out of breaks, all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm nowhere near to where I need to be, but I mean, I'm going to get there, whether it's this year, next year, with these coaches, and the time and the effort they put into everybody on this team. It's great. I mean, you know, those guys set a really high standard, and I'm not, you know, comparing myself to any of those guys just because, you know, I have a lot of work to do. But a guy that I have watched a lot is, you know, 2 guys, you know, Travis Kelce and Jimmy Graham. You know, 2 guys that I think, you know, Jimmy Graham with the basketball background, all that kind of stuff, and, you know, being a big threat in the red zone, and Travis Kelce being extremely athletic. They use him in a bunch of different scenarios and situations. And so, but, you know, those guys obviously have been extremely talented and, you know, extremely successful over the past couple of years. And, you know, those are guys that, you know, I'm shooting for.
If Mike could come close to being a Jimmy Graham or a Travis Kelce, woo! Now, finally, the Dolphins will have a threat down the middle of the field, and that's something that Ryan Tannehill has never had. And with the addition of a tight end, that may open things up for Devontae Parker. Devontae, you know he's looking forward to the return of number 17.
And all that, you know, it was going great, like going through camp and everything, and coming back, you know, connection won't go anywhere. I think it's going to be the same.
Right now, with the departure of Landry, it seems as if that should be more opportunities for you, correct?
I believe so. You know, I just come to play every game. You know, first it starts, then off season. You know, that's where it first starts at. But then you got to see what happens from there on.
This is live from the MIA.
Put your hands
The
up.
station for every generation, giving you classic R&B, throwback hip-hop, and today's hits. The 90s music radio stations don't play anymore. We do it our way.
How we do.
Let me see you go hard.
The 90s are the foundation of this station, and we're on 24/7, 365.
You were listening to
Live from the MIA, we have some of the best DJs in the game with over 20 years experience in radio. We make it easy to listen to at work. We play the music you've been missing. We play it all. Hip-hop, jazz, neo-soul. We're simply the best on the net. And when you turn us on, leave us on.
You are listening to Live from the MIA, your #1 station for classic R&B.
Let's get back to
Music.
I was a big fan of Shazier. That was the one player I seen him my junior year. I was being recruited by Ohio State. He played Indiana, freezing cold, and he had like 20-some tackles. And that's when I became a big fan of Shazier. His speed, his just his attack mindset, pretty much everything. When he came out of college saying the same thing, he was too small. He just performed every Sunday, so that's what I pretty much try to do.
Now, in the 4th round, the Dolphins had fans scratching their heads when tight end Durham Smythe out of Notre Dame was selected, and he's known as a blocking tight end, instead of replacing Sue's defensive tackle position. Perhaps the coaching staff feels they may already have the replacement on the roster and recently traded for defensive tackle Akeem Spence from the Detroit Lions. However, I had the opportunity to catch up with a defensive lineman from the Dolphins who is ready to step up and fill the void. Sports Brothers Network coming to you from Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Dolphins NFL Draft Party. It's on and popping. And, of course, we got – now, this gentleman right here is going to fill that huge void which is happening. You know what I mean? One of our boys have moved out, and now there's a void there. We got my man. I want to make sure I pronounce that last name correctly. It's Devon Gachau.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
Give me some.
Most definitely.
You got to give me some.
Most definitely.
Because when you got drafted, did they get your name right?
No, they never get it right. They never get it right.
We were at the draft party, so I heard you talking about the running back that was just selected. That's the highest running back has gone in a long time, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm very excited for him. I actually had a chance to work out with him when he was training for the draft. I was down there at time, so I had a chance to work out with him. He's a great work ethic. He deserves everything he's getting.
Now, I was so busy getting set up. Now, who just got drafted?
Saquon Barkley.
Where'd he go?
New York Giants.
The Giants. So the Giants got him. All right, cool.
That's scary. That's scary.
Wow. All right. Do we play Giants this year? No, we don't play him this year. So, okay, all right. So you won't have to face him. But, of course, with you being in the middle, being that defensive, that tackle that's going to, clog and stop the run, and now you've got an opportunity to show your abilities and your talents. What are you looking for as far as the season is concerned?
I'm just ready to be consistent. I'm just ready to work. I'm just ready to get this crowd fired up. Home games on the road, same thing. I'm just ready to work, such as me, Jordan Phillips, Gabe Bright, Vincent Taylor. We just ready to work. We putting in work in the off season. We just ready to work. We know the stakes not high for us. In the middle is the defensive tackles, but we just ready to work.
Now, you're going to be clogging up the middle for those linebackers. All right, and, I think that's a position of need. It's safe to say. Would you like to see the Dolphins kind of address that? I'm not sure if you can elaborate on that, but is that something you'd like them to see?
Can't really elaborate on that. But, I'm happy with whatever pick they pick. I'm just here to support my teammates, here to support my organization.
Okay. All right, now, this is a sports talk radio show, but we keep it real. We get turned up. You know what I mean? We like that trap music from time to time. So let me find out right now if you drove here, right?
Yeah, I drove.
What were you listening to on your way here to the draft?
I actually I was listening to no music. I got a rental car.
Oh, come on.
I don't know how to work the radio, but from time to time, I'm a Future guy,
right.
Young Thug, Young Jeezy. I like
DJ Khaled, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I like all that trap music.
All right,
that's what I grew up on.
Well, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. All right. Now, I know the Dolphins had a good draft, and they added a few players that will help the team. However, the decision not to address the quarterback position with Ryan Tannehill coming off an injury is extremely concerning. The organization may have tried to move up in the first round, but probably felt it was a little too costly to move up like the Arizona Cardinals. These moves tell you that the Dolphins are going all in this season on Ryan Tannehill. Nevertheless, we need a quarterback for the future, and the fact that the Dolphins did not address this need is disappointing. However, if the rookies and the veteran additions can make an impact this season, we should see some exciting football from the Miami Dolphins. If not, the Dolphins will be able to select their QB of the future in next year's draft, and that pick will be so high that the rookie will be able to start under center next year. For the Live from the MIA and the Sports Brothers Network, I'm Lorenzo Thomas.